Hello, welcome to this channel. We're in a new background here because currently I'm in a short-term rental in Berlin for a month. I recently hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel. It's so crazy. I have never sat down and kind of realized that it's 10,000 subscribers. Whatever. And I wanted to do a Q&A video. I think I am really in real time healing and embarking on so many healing journeys through being on here on YouTube. I don't want to make it too deep, but it is deep for me because I'm a very existential person on this journey of kind of expressing my authentic self. Anyway, let's start with the first question. A piece of advice you'd give to someone who is starting vlogging? Well, first you have to get clear if you want to vlog just in your corner and you don't really plan on growing a YouTube channel. Because I feel like if you plan on growing a YouTube channel, you do have to look into some technical things or I don't know, SEO, stuff like that. But first and foremost, look into what you're drawn to, what kind of vlogs you enjoy yourself, and try to translate it into your life and make your own vlog from it. And another question is, how do you balance living in the moment and enjoying experience with capturing for a video? So how I do it, I usually, you see very short clips. It's because when I capture something, it doesn't take more than a minute. It kind of has become a second nature that when I see something beautiful, I capture it, but then I put my phone away and I am in the present. Yeah, I'm trying to designate days now instead of having a whole full week that I'm vlogging. What would you say to someone who wants to begin a YouTube channel? If you have an impulse, if you have an itch, start. Be open that maybe the results won't come immediately. You currently see this channel and you probably think it took me 1 year to grow my channel, but what you don't see is the time, my previous channel that I don't post on it anymore. I kind of had it for on and off for a couple of years as well. If I hadn't started that channel, I wouldn't have learned. In hindsight, this channel taught me that I love vlogging, that I just love YouTube. When I stopped it, I missed it. Kind of opening up your mind when you start your YouTube channel that maybe the path won't be as you imagine it, but trusting that as long as you listen to your intuition and you act on your intuition, you will get somewhere eventually and things will make sense looking back. But if you want more practical advice, I can put some videos down there. Another question is how to deal with anxiety when going on solo dates. I would say don't try to push yourself too much out of your comfort zone in a way that you get frozen and in a way that you don't do it. Try to find the next thing that you find kind of uncomfortable to do alone, but is still in an area of comfort that you would still do it, for example, start with just going to one place alone. Instead of a whole solo date, you can just start by, going to get ice cream and sitting in a park. Just something that stretches your comfort zone, but is still in your area of feasibility, if that makes sense. Each time you overcome one of your fears, you realize that it's not actually that bad how your mind makes you believe it's going to be. And then you're kind of growing confidence, and you will kind of approach fear differently and expand your comfort zone. The next question is favorite book. I love this book, The Road Less Traveled by Scott M. Peck, I think. He has a therapist background, and it's just a great book kind of talking about life, the virtues, values, spirituality, stuff like that. But it's in a very grounded way. I read this book 3-4 times, but usually I read it once a year because I just think it's such a good reminder and a good basic values and basic kind of knowledge things to know about psychology, about self-growth, self-development, stuff like that, but in a very grounded way. And my favorite fiction book, I have not come along a fiction book that has kind of wowed me. If you have any recommendations for a fiction book where you've been so immersed in it, please tell me. Next question is, do you do all your journaling analog or digitally as well? And what's your pre-production process? The real journaling I do analog, and digitally I take notes, or when I make my videos, I try to transcribe my journal notes onto a Notion page. And my pre-production process is a Notion page. I think I can make a whole video about my pre-production process and my YouTube process if you want that. But in the meantime, this is my pre-production process. Were you afraid of starting a YouTube, and what conclusions did you draw after getting started? I was not afraid of starting a YouTube channel because I did it in private and I did it kind of in secret. I didn't tell anyone about it. I didn't felt any pressure, so I wasn't afraid. What conclusions did I draw after getting started? It's really a portal into a new world. It's kind of expanding your world. Before I started YouTube, I wasn't engaging in a steady creative practice. And you get to like make your imagination work. And I would say you reconnect with a very creative part of you. And also the community part has been so surprising to me. I've been like able to connect to so many people, even if it's just through Instagram, and just realizing that we're much more connected than we think we are has been a very nice experience, but it does take a lot of work and you need to plan your videos. Otherwise it will just be a mess. And I'm learning that like there has to be some kind of system. How do you manage to stay consistent with your videos despite having a busy life? Compromising. I spent a lot of weekends not going outside. It's really easy not to go outside in my hometown editing videos. So it really is a compromise. Next question is, do you have any dream hobbies you want to try out in the future? Yes. My dream is to get into sewing. I love these videos when people kind of flip their stuff. It's so fun. The next question is your dream country, city to live in. Paris, Seoul, and maybe even Munich. But these are all just from the places I already visited. So maybe there will be a different city, a different country that I want to live in when I see it. How's life in Germany? How do you manage studies and internships? When I studied, I did an internship for 6 months. And during that internship, I didn't study. So my semester was just doing the internship. And my studies, how do I manage my studies? I was actually a good student. Basically, it's all about active recall. And in Germany, it's quite normal to take longer than the regular time for a degree. Like, for example, my degree, the regular time would be 7 semesters, but out of the 30 people in my study program, only 3 people managed to finish in those 7 semesters. The rest really took a long time or longer. It's just something very normal in Germany. I think you want to know about the life in Germany as a student. I'd say it's very challenging academically, I would say, because I studied also abroad in Hungary and in Korea. The exchange student classes are always so easy, but I took some local classes and the system is just academically, I would say, much more strict in Germany and you don't pass as much, I would say. But other than that, you have a lot of access to support if you want to go on an exchange semester and also a lot of scholarships. I don't know if that answered your question, but I hope it did. Next question is, how do you overcome negative situations? First, I think I let myself struggle a bit and I let myself have these negative emotions. There's so many different lenses you can come from. Like you can approach it by like the somatic experience, like how can you overcome these negative emotions in your body, but also in your life, like action-wise, mindset-wise. So it's really tough to answer it in like one answer. If I had to just pick one answer, I would say research how your emotions work, research how your nervous system works. Just look into the science of your nervous system and also making choices and taking active actions, because you can journal as much as you want. You can do breath work as much as you want, but if you don't change something in the exterior, nothing really helps. I mean, these journal practices and breath works, they all should help you make different choices or you make like better choices for yourself. Current favorite album you've been listening to? I haven't been listening to a lot of music. I've been listening more to frequency music or no music. I think I go in phases, but I really like Olivia Dean's album, The Art of Loving. Right now I have a couple minutes stuck in my head. I just love the song so much. Okay, and last question is thoughts on overconsumption and social media's effect on it. I think there might be even studies that social media is factually contributing to overconsumption of material stuff, but also like overconsumption of just media, and our head is just so bombarded with so much stimuli, but also is at the same time antidote to it. You learn about things, how to not overconsume on social media. So at the same time, it's like reversing its effect as well. So yeah, best case scenario, everything is in balance from the get-go, but most of the time things has to be out of balance first before they can come into balance. And I think this is where social media and overconsumption kind of is right now. Anyway, this was my Q&A video. It was really fun, and I hope to see you in the next video soon. Bye bye.